introduce, you already introduced yourself, you are the marketing club.
Yep.
And when she's helping you, that means she's doing all the work.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm so delighted that, part of being a dean, sometimes I get isolated from the students because a lot of things, that's part of my job. I'll explain to you what it is. But the price I pay there's only so much time you got in a day. Mm-hmm. So it disconnects me from students, from faculty too, because I have to do so many things outside, inside. So that's why I have Dean's Ambassadors program. I have 8 students who are Dean's Ambassadors. Each year I have Dean's Ambassadors because they are my eyes and ears. Because when I meet with them, they'll tell me what's going on, and they'll tell me how we can improve our school. And so then that's why I have the Dean's Ambassadors. Well, my way of coping with that disconnect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Rebuild the connection with the students.
Absolutely. But then when I get an occasion like this, 3 students, I'm very delighted to have that conversation with you because you bring energy, you bring positivity. You're the next generation business leaders, you're the next generation community leaders. That's something I am incredibly proud of in making each and every student the business community leader. So your one question was, what does the dean do except looking outside the ocean?
Yeah, having this really nice view.
Yeah. But I say,
at the water all day.
My job is so intense that I don't get to look outside. All my guests coming in, they get to look outside. I don't. Because I sort of have a brick wall here. Because, well, I say this because of course, I sometimes look outside. But the job is so intense. So as a dean, I'm the leader for the college. So being that public business school, the only public business school in Boston, has a lot of pride and prestige. Mm-hmm. And also sense of commitment for student success. So we are here to serve the students. So as a leader of the college, I have to make sure that when students come in, okay, before that, let me back up. Let me clarify. The students, I see my students as my products. My customers or the industry, the businesses. Many times people confuse it, oh, students, my customers. No. Students are my products. My customers are the industry, the companies, the banks, financial institutions, mm-hmm. retail industry, manufacturing, everybody, government, not-for-profit, everybody. So my goal is for them to buy my products.
Yeah, supply them.
Yes. So my goal is to make the highest quality product with 0 defects. Right?
Isn't that better referred to us?
I think that communicates my leadership philosophy is make my products very high quality. That means you're very good in your domain, in your major, in your minor, the whole person, your communication skills, your problem solving skills, your values, how empathetic you are, how compassionate, all of the above, the soft skills and the hard skills. Then you go to the industry, and then I want the industries to come back every year and say, I need more of your products, I need more of your products. That means I'm doing a good job. That's my only test. So I work towards it. So to do that, how do I make high quality students? Mm-hmm. Part is, I need faculty. Because faculty are the one who give you the classroom learning experience on it. You have structure, academic program, coursework. Mm-hmm. But then, so I have to make sure that this whole machine works smoothly. Mm-hmm. Right? So I have to recruit students. That means I connect with high school seniors, transfer students, parents, convince them that this is the best place for you to invest 4 years of your time. Mm-hmm. That's a commitment I make to the parent and say, tell me, this is my daughter, or this is my son. They're looking at many schools. Again, it's a free country. You can go anywhere you want. But what would I do to make them come here? So it's a commitment. They are trusting me. So that's a sign of leadership is I have to I have to be very honest, positive, hardworking, get the whole process going. So the value proposition. The term value proposition is you buy anything, you buy a pair of Nike shoes or buy a tennis racket, you go eat in a restaurant, you go to a movie theater, you go and play on vacation, you do everything, there's always a value and you pay a price for it. You pay a premium price because it's a fancy resort, or it's a Nike and Jordan shoes, high
Mhm.
black. So there's always high price, but you get some value out of it. So what is my value proposition is there's always a numerator, there's a denominator. The numerator is the highest quality learning experience. This is my message to the parents. Your child, your son or daughter will get at what cost? That's my denominator. I do it at the lowest possible cost in the Boston region. So your ROI, is return on investment, is high. That's how so you go to other, we are the only public, all other schools are private, obviously the cost is 3 times, 4 times, 5 times higher. But if I give you the same quality of learning at the 1/3 or 1/4 the cost in the denominator, you can see the return is 4 times,
4 times.
5 times.
Mhm.
That is what keeps me going every day. But I got to make sure my numerator is correct.
Yeah.
My cost is low, we all know.
Mhm.
But how do I make sure I give you that exceptional learning experience? See those 2 posters? They remind my job every day. That is my mission and that is my vision. Vision is forward-looking, aspirational, where you want to go. Today, you're at point A, vision is where you want to go 5 years from the point B. I want to take you from here to there. That's what whole college. To be the public business school, the choice for, I want you to, this is the first choice for every student. Students are the smartest people. They do all the math in their head. So if I make ourselves the first choice for you, that means I got something to give you. Or you perceive that I got something to give you. And that is our mission. Why are we here? To cultivate the next generation business leaders. So that reminds me every day what my job is. So I have students I gotta come in. Then I have faculty to give you that experience inside the classroom. Outside I'll come to that. And then I need an academic program. What do I give you? So the program, the structure, that's where the other question is the majors. We had concentrations before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That nobody in the world understood what concentration is.
Yep.
We had one umbrella major
Yes.
called management, and everything was finance, marketing, entrepreneurship, everything. But the real world, the terminology people use is major.
Yeah.
What is your major? What is your major? Oh, it's a history, English, philosophy, business, okay. But then we said, my major is management, but I have concentration in marketing. Nobody understood that.
Mhm.
So the first thing when I came here as a dean, I said, you gotta fix that. No, that will put my students in a disadvantage when they compete with students from other schools. So I have an example to tell you. A company wanted to hire marketing analysts. A lot of our marketing students applied. Not one of them got a phone call. So I was a little bit disappointed. I said, why? So I spoke to the company head, the CEO. They said, Venky, in the first round, when we review all the resumes, we have automated programs that scan everything, PDFs. So we need marketing analysts, so we are looking for marketing majors. None of your students are marketing majors. I said, you are right in some ways, but you are also not right because we have management major, but I have marketing concentrations.
Yeah. What that means.
Programs don't recognize all this, the human being,
These computers are the
So that was one strong evidence, anecdotal evidence of how this concentration has to change, which we did. So it took some time, going through the whole process, went through the approval process, it's all done. So we have majors. Everything is a majors. Now you can say on your resume you have a marketing major, finance major, entrepreneurship major. You can have double majors if you want. Then comes minors. We are working on minors as we speak. This December we're going to approve many minors. So look at this. A year from now, students in the College of Management can have a major in any other business disciplines, or they can have multiple double majors if you want to. Then they can have minor. Marketing major with the entrepreneurship minor, accounting major with the finance minor, finance major, you can choose. Major, minor, then even one step below is a certificate. You're working on 3 certificate programs. One on managing in a data-driven world, that means business analytics. Certificate is like 3 courses. You get a certificate. So it's all complementing your knowledge you're acquiring and your brand you're acquiring. So you apply for a job and say, I have a marketing major, I have a minor or double major in entrepreneurship. I'm just throwing examples. And you also have a certificate in, so that's one certificate we are working on, data analytics. Another one is managing successful business ventures, how to write a business plan. You don't need a major for it. Your major could be something else, but you can have a certificate. And the third one is managing high performance teams, the people side. So the 4 of us are assigned to a project. You all come from very different cultural backgrounds, ethnicity, everything, but we all are smart people. But so how do we work with so that we have a very strong team? You can be yelling and fighting with each other. And so it's a give and take, compromising. Oh, when can we meet? Can we meet on Thursday afternoon, 2 o'clock? You'll say, oh, sorry, I can't work on Thursday, you're working somewhere, you got a job. Okay, now how about Friday morning? Oh, Friday morning, you got your karate lessons. You know. So, what does it mean? Mean we cannot meet? Okay, you know what, folks? Let's make some compromise. That's what managing understanding. I understand. Hey, can you take some time off on Thursday, Friday? How about you? Why not we alternate? This week, why not we do it this way? Next week, we do it that way. This is what compromise is. That is making it also understanding, respecting each other's, the gender, ethnicity, everything we are respecting and understanding. And then it is a 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 equals 10. That's the power of synergy. Then we solve very complex problems, break it into manageable components. Then we took on a big challenge, we got it done. Individually, I cannot do everything. I can do a small piece. But collectively, the power of synergy. So how do you do that? Empathy, compassion, teaching people, hey, suddenly he feels sick for 2 weeks. No, I don't wish that, but I'm just saying. So how do we, then she says, no problem, I'll take care of the work. It's amazing how we understand, we help each other. And that is a very important skill, the people skills and communication. So, academic program inside the classroom, learning experience. Then outside the classroom is where this best Boston comes in. Internships come in. And even the clubs. What is the purpose of the club is to connect with alumni, connect with the industry speakers. My job is to enable, make sure it works. And we say this, I'm like a WD-40. I make the machine work very fast. I spray everywhere, the machine works faster, but if the faculty do the work, my students do the work. I make sure the whole machine ecosystem works, bringing industry speakers, networking. Especially in the COVID generation that you have come up, you have to know how to connect with people, socialize, building networks, writing a thank you note to somebody. The company president comes and gives a talk. You, after the event, connect, can I have your business card, can I have your contact information? Writing a thank you note. It was great listening to you yesterday in this lecture. I look forward to seeing you in future events. If there are any career opportunities in your business, please let me know. If you just say, wow, that's an amazing email. We are people first, then comes internet, chat GPT, this gadget, they all come later. We are people first. So when you have that kind of a communication, connecting with people, they will think of tomorrow an opportunity comes, you know what? That student, let me pull out the email, that student wrote a nice note. I think the student will be interested. That's how opportunities come. You get to make this professional connection. So I cannot put fish on your table, but I'll teach you how to fish. That's what, so learning inside the classroom, the best knowledge, best pedagogy, I'll come to AI. But I'm connecting all your questions in a storytelling.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's my job as a dean. So I understand what you're asking. And inside the classroom learning experience, then outside the classroom, you need both. That's why I'm working so hard to bring so many business leaders here, to alumni. We brought the first year seminar course. I don't know whether you are taking it. We're bringing speakers into the classroom. Let the students learn from the actual people, leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And when the business leaders ask me, Venky, what do you want me to talk to the students about? I said, tell you a story. Tell you a story of how do you manage your family with kids, your extensive travel requirements. How do you do this? You can't do it 24 hours in a day. And have you failed in any of your venture jobs? We all have made failures.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the story. Everything is not about, oh, I am successful, you are successful. Sometimes we have taken beatings. But how did they recover from that? It could be somebody in the family being sick, or somebody having financial hardship. There's always some challenge we all have faced. None of us are exempt. But how did you come out of it? Tell that story to my 18-year-old, to my 19-year-old. Because learning is inspirational.
Mm-hmm.
I want my students to say, wow, if she could manage her family, with elderly parents or small children, and then the job demands, and she's a very successful entrepreneur. Wow, how did she do this? That's inspiration for me. Maybe I can do that too. If she can do it, I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. That is the inspiration I want. So I tell them, don't go into complex way of doing your job and mathematical equations and this tool we are using. It's good, but I want that inspiration to take in first. Then comes other things. So West Boston is one of the outside the classroom
Mm-hmm.
experience. So all this combined make you well prepared to meet the challenges of
The outside world.
outside world. Now, there are one big challenge in the outside world is AI. AI is having a huge disruptive impact on the economy. It is positive and negative. How will you, as I mentioned before, any challenge in life can be an opportunity. But it can be a challenge too if you don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So many times people ask me, am I going to lose my job to AI? My response is, you are not going to lose your job to AI, but you may lose your job to someone who knows how to use AI. See the difference between the two?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm going to teach you how to use AI. So when you say use of AI, there are two uses. One is a creative use. How to use AI in marketing, in digital marketing, to expand my customer base, to find some new customers that I did not even know exist. You're selling bakery, you're selling stuff on the street in Dorchester, on the main street, you rented a place, you're running a bakery. You think your customers are people who walk on the street, people who live in the neighborhood, but you may not know who your other customers are, how far they're coming from. You got a reputation. I said, do you know who your customers are? He said, I think I know. No, you got to know it. So those are then maybe how do I expand it? My customer base. Maybe students at UMass Boston would love my bakery. But how do they know that you are there? All those things, my questions asked. So, creative use of AI. Then also comes the responsible use of AI. That's the challenging part is responsible use is ethical use, responsible. So if you give me a paper to write for my class, I just ask ChatGPT to write my paper. Then it writes the paper, then I submit it and say, hey, here is my paper. So am I learning anything by doing it? It's like the cheating software, sites that help do your math problems and things like that. So no, but you have to know how to use AI to your advantage. How to use AI as a research tool. You have some rough ideas. You want to dig deeper, use that. Pull it out, use that in your thought. So you are in charge, you are driving the car. In any work you do, you are in charge, but you use AI is like a turbo feature on your engine. It makes you go a little faster. And so that's how we use AI as a productivity tool, not as something to replace. I'm going to be lazy, I'm not going to do any work, I'm not going to read anything, I'm going to use AI to write my paper. Then in the short term, you are kind of fooling yourself. But the other way to do, how can I use it to make my argument much stronger? I need more evidence, more research. Let me go do it. It's like Google. You go to Google and type some search, and that doesn't mean you're cheating. But Google has a Gemini AI engine running behind. So it's like spreadsheet or word processing. You may not know what typewriter is. You know what typewriter is?
We do know.
Do you know what a dial tone is? The rotary phone. You know, what a CD-ROM is? No. You say, what is it? But then the spreadsheets and they all help. They are all productivity tools. They help make your job better. Same thing about AI. To use it as a productivity tool to make you a much more stronger person, make your argument, do your research, more insights that you never even had a time or even thought, but you are in the driver's seat. So that's how AI can be used inside the classroom, and I'm investing a lot in our faculty, introducing more AI into our curriculum. So I'm weaving all your stories. What does a dean do? Back again is being a strategic thinker, be a visionary leader, the vision that you see, and make sure that I give the highest value proposition to my students. And the student success is what makes a leader very effective. As a leader, you have to focus on efficiency and effectiveness. Effectiveness is all about outcomes, what comes out. If my students go to the industry, get great jobs, that means my effectiveness is good. Or I can be efficient by giving you all the coursework in a short period of time and pushing you out in the month. Yes, it's like stapling 100 sheets of paper. How fast can you staple? I can staple pretty fast. That's efficient, not effectiveness. Effectiveness is where do you have to staple in the first place? Can I put it electronically? I suppose so. You don't need stapler. That's effectiveness. Did my example clarify some of my points?
I like that example.
So these are my stories. So tell me if there are any specific areas you want me to focus on.
Yeah, well, so I know you said you invest a lot in faculty, like trying to get the best to help prepare students, but say for example, a student wants to apply to a job at a different state that maybe hasn't heard of UMass Boston as the first Boston school.
Sure.
Like there's Boston University, Northeastern stuff. How do you make sure kind of, like, do you take ranking a lot into account or accreditation through like research, or how much does that kind of come into effect when trying to kind of have students become like the best products to these companies?
So there's something called brand recognition. I am strengthening our brand. Brand is, all the well-known McDonald's. Oh, I know what McDonald's is. Nike, I know that. So they all have brand. Delta Airline. Oh, I know Delta. We all have brands. Some brands have low value, low price. Some are high price. We all have the perception in our head. So what's our brand? That's one of the challenges we had. Is we have very high quality, but not many people know us. If I don't know you, I'm not able to deal with you. You may be very good, but I only so much time. I can only do so much. That's why they put billboards everywhere you drive. They want to catch your eyeballs when you're driving. They want to constantly remind you, hey, we are the people who do this, we do this. Whether it's a lawyer or whether it's a university or it's a car, brand name cars, you see. All because human. That's why advertising is a big industry. For that reason is they want to be subconsciously, even though you're driving, you're watching something, brand. They want to keep reinforcing the message to you that you're thinking of a car, maybe you should buy my car. Thinking of going to a place for vacation, maybe you should go there. Okay. So what is our brand? Our brand is, so we are working. That's in the media. I do a lot of LinkedIn postings. A lot of people read. lot of people say, wow, I didn't know you have this, I didn't know you were doing this. It's showcasing some faculty success, student success, or some speaker coming in. Michael Spillane from Boston Beer was here 2 weeks ago. Did you attend?
Not there, but I did see he came.
Again, you all may have classes, so that's when they bring multiple people. The idea is to build a brand, say, wow, you got a lot of things going on in your school. Exactly. I want you to know that, build a brand. So, to answer your question, as an individual, you got to have the right knowledge, skills, and experience. And on top of that, you got to have a good brand for your school. You use some names of other private schools. They have more awareness than UMass Boston. Some might argue, but we are doing more and more to connect with industries to build their brand. So when you think of, tell me a business school that comes up in your mind, suddenly you should say, okay, I'll tell you. They can say UMass Boston, BU, Northeastern. I want my name to be on your list. How do I do that?
Mm-hmm. How do you build that exposure?
Yes, you got to think of that because I got to tell you we are doing a lot of things. So there are billboards we do, but that's not the only thing. I need to build that based on my student success and my alumni relationship. I'm building a strong relationship with our alumni. I'm telling them, hey, you graduated 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago. Come back, tell your story. Also hire my students. So it is not one magic wand I can do, it's a portfolio approach. I gotta push. Basically, some of my job is to push 10 buttons, but also create buttons that don't even exist, and then push those buttons.
So for these students that are like products, so would you say it's mostly on them to kind of seek these opportunities? For example, I know if a student tries to apply for an internship on LinkedIn, with no connection, without knowing anyone, it's very difficult for them to actually land it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say it's kind of on the student to kind of attend these events, make themselves known, or how else should a student at UMass Boston try to,
It's a
land
great
these
question.
internships?
It is a team sport. Well, like I said, I'll put fish on a table, then I'll teach you how to fish, then putting food on the table. Students have to be they have to motivate themselves, look for opportunities, but the college also has to do quite a lot of things. So 2 years ago, we did not have a full-time career person. So now we have Patrick Hansen. Do you know Patrick? Our Director of Career Services.
Yes.
Patrick, yes. So it's a full-time. So Patrick, now we are trying to add more resources. So his job is to connect with the industries, bring them, set up interviews. Yes, we are going to set up 2 interview rooms, 2 conference rooms, state of the art, across from the 2 sets of elevators. But the work is going to start in another couple of weeks.
Okay,
There's a lot of
maybe we can use it.
Yeah.
We can
Get a little
but the idea of
Yeah.
the 2 conference
Yeah.
rooms are companies to come interview students. Right now when they come, we got to book a room in campus center, or I said no. Your answer is your question is a very, very important question. But it takes 2, both. But college, we have to do more the brand, building relationship with the industries, building relationship with the companies, with the alumni, and saying, come here, and you need someone, I got the best students here, hire them. But that takes a lot of effort. I need space. So we are working on career preparedness. And some curriculum new changes are happening. So an incoming students. So let me put it this way, if you have 100% students, it's like a normal distribution in statistics. Some students know how to take care of themselves, just by sheer personality. They're very aggressive, they're motivated, well-driven, they know how to do this. They know people, they know their family connections, everything, they know how to take care of themselves. Great. But there are some who just don't have that luxury of that connection. I'm a first generation student in my family. And my family has not much connection. I want to take care of that student because that's a student who needs help. So how do I then cultivate from year one? You come in as a freshman, not 4 years later, I'll get you a job. Day one, you and I have to work together. What are things we gotta do? Do you, for example, do you have a CV? Do you have a resume that people have edited and given you feedback? Do you have a LinkedIn page with at least 100 connections? All the things you gotta do from then, you gotta do a best Boston project. From a sophomore, second year to third year, you gotta have an internship. I've got an internship, paid, unpaid, whatever combination. I'll get you the speakers, clubs, networks, connections. We'll bring opportunities. So that's how you build a success from day one. Not wait for my senior year to see, oh, I need a job in 6 months. What do we do? Most often, that's a little bit too late. I'll say start on day one. Those changes we're making in our curriculum, also in our advising, all the support service, career service. So we are doing everything to help the students. But then at the end of the day, the students and the institution have to work together. You do your prep work, I'll get you the opportunities. Maybe there's a click here. Nothing is guaranteed in life, but that's the part as an institution, as a leader, I'm working on to give more opportunities, more speakers, more engagements, more networking, clubs, curriculum, faculty teaching the cutting edge tools and techniques. But then as a student, you have to be motivated. I'm working to get more scholarship funds to support students who are in financial hardship, everything.
And in your experience, with grades versus experience, when it comes for students at landing jobs, what do you think is more valuable, or what do you see like the ratio as, like 50-50, like 60-40, like what should students prioritize?
Grades are a good question. Grades are important. Grades will get you into the door, but everything after that is all who the person is. Yes. So again, there's no specific formula on what grade will I get in. You don't know. It's a competition. You apply for some opportunity, maybe 50 people will apply, maybe 500 people will apply, maybe 5 people will apply. Yes, some form of academic success is a proxy for them to measure how likely that you're going to be a successful hire for me as a company. How do we figure it out? Okay, what school? What is major? Okay, kind of what's your GPA? So it's not a deal breaker. You don't have to be 4.4 to get an intern, no. But also how you package your whole story, experience. Wow, you've an amazing industry experience. Tell me about that. So somehow your CV stands alone from others. You've done so many things. You have done some entrepreneurial. You have your own company you started 2 years ago. Tell me about that. Kind of something unique about you that you want to package, and that every person has to figure out how to. That's why having someone look at your resume and give you feedback, how to package it, they all are important. And your internships too. The best part, I helped 2 small businesses that are just on the verge of collapse and shutting down. I made them successful. If you say that there's one can you tell me more about that? Because you're making me ask you the question to understand. So those are the things that are very, very important. So it takes 2 to tango, right?
Yeah.
That's what.
Always does.
I'm answering your question.
Yes,
Yes.
that answers the question.
Good.
So I know you said it's a complete package too.
Yes.
With that in mind as well, kind of the MBA applications have kind of been trending downward for, I would say, like a lot of universities, like in generally speaking. Do you still see like value in professionals pursuing their MBA? And if so, when in their career do you think they should be pursuing that?
In today's world, I have different. If you asked me 5 years ago, I would have given you a different answer. If you asked me 10 years ago, I would have given you a
What was
different
it
answer.
that?
So now I would say, MBA is important. MBA, I call MBA suffix X. MBA in what? So MBA is Master of Business Administration. 30 years ago, or even 40 years ago, you say you have MBA. Wow, amazing. you're hired.
Mhm.
Please join us. You may have high jobs.
Yeah.
And then the world became very specialized, just like your majors,
Exactly.
marketing, finance. So now it's no longer this MBA, it's MBA suffix X, MBA in something. So you got MBA, you got MBA in what? That's the question today. Oh, I have MBA in finance, I have MBA in accounting, MBA in marketing. So we have those tracks here. But the question is, where do you do this? Does MBA have value? The answer is yes. But when? My personal advice, more of less of a dean, but more of a person as an individual. My advice is always get your foothold in the industry first after your undergraduate degree. Then as you work, the more industry experience you have, the more you can relate to when you go to MBA. So, but then do it concurrently. Or sometimes some students would say, I would like to get all my education done.
Mhm.
I want to do my undergraduate degree and MBA accelerated master's program, be done with it. I'm not going to come back. Great. There's no mathematically correct right or wrong answers here. It's just that, but I would say if you live in Boston, you work in Boston, you've got a lot of options. You can always pursue that MBA, but you have to learn the tricks of the trade. It's a hand and feet, that by doing the work, and then fine. But again, the age is on your side. When you have, that's why we have right now online MBA programs for those people who are mid-level in their career. They graduated 10 years ago. Now they have families. Now the work demands are huge because they are supervising 4 or 5 people in their companies. You just can't take your time off and come and sit in a class. So we said, you know what, we got an online program. So we are giving them options for working professionals. So the answer is, my personal recommendation is, start your career, and then while you're doing it, you don't have to wait for, find out when you can take the graduate program, the sooner, but while doing the work. Online, hybrid mode, being in Boston, some courses like leadership development, you have to do this in person.
Yeah.
Then, take the red line, come to JFK and do it once, because we have students doing that. Then other courses you can do online, and your work continues. So there are ways by which you can do that. You have that advantage.
So I know you mentioned like the suffix with the MBA, with the specialized degrees, like
Yes.
now that there's marketing, there's, we have entrepreneurship here, like sports business, like major. I feel like since they're so new, there's kind of like a gray area when applying to jobs. Maybe some recruiters aren't quite sure what you learned there, just because it's so new to everyone.
Correct.
How do students kind of market these degrees to employers?
Employers to a large extent, they go by who you are. Or are you a good problem solver? They don't put you in the buckets of, oh, he's marketing, so he doesn't know anything in finance, and oh, he's finance, he doesn't know anything. You both know a lot of things.
Soft skills.
Soft skills. They just say, I want to see you with a positive energy. Your social skills, how you connect, and you're a problem solver. Tell me how good a problem solver you are. If they ask you the question in the job interview, that's a nice hook to tell your story of your real world experience. Experiential learning, the projects you did, the internship. I did 6 months internship in Fidelity, and let me explain what I did. Or in the West Boston, like I said before, there's a Dorchester-based company that was really struggling, and I and my partner, we did a great experience. Then another manufacturing company, they had a problem with the quality control, and we helped streamline their operations a little bit. And I learned a lot from wow, this person knows how to do that. Yes, to some extent, your degree and your specialization helps, but it helps to some extent. Again, but some lines are highly specialized, like in accounting. You can't say, I did marketing and I'll do.
Yeah.
Sometimes some are a little bit specialized, but then most of the time, it is who you are. It's a well-rounded person that they look for. See, today, 10, 20 years ago, companies will hire people and put them through a training program, 1 year, 6 months, 1 year program, and then you start. Today, that luxury is gone. Today, you join the company today, tomorrow you are creating value for the company. There's no training. You already know it. Start to work, get down to work. So that luxury is gone because it's a competitive world. So yeah, everything you can have prior to the job, the skills, that's why I'm trying to give you that industry engagement. Bring them here, connections, the 4-year degree, having more internships, inside the classroom, having the real world applied problems, case studies, all those things help you prepare to tell the story that yes, I'm a very good problem solver. So in my way of looking at things, there are 3 phases I want to prepare students for. Phase 1 is being a good problem solver. I'll give you a problem, you know how to solve it. Marketing, finance, accounting. Then the next phase is solution provider. Problem solving is when a problem occurs, you're driving the car, your car breaks down, you get down, okay, what's going on here? Oh, there's some smoke coming in, or something happening. You open the hood, look inside. Problem occurred, now you fix the problem, then problem is fixed, you're driving. Solution providing is more proactive. You don't wait for the problem to occur. You already think of that preventive maintenance, making sure things are happening. So how do I make sure that I don't get into this problem again? It's like I have to eat healthy food and be a healthy lifestyle so I don't fall sick. Yeah. Or you can say, yeah, don't worry, anytime I fall sick, call the doctor, I can go on, but no, that's not a good trick.
Mm-hmm.
The third phase is opportunity seeker. I want you to be a problem solver. I want you to be a solution provider. And I want you to be an opportunity seeker, which is you go look for opportunities. Those are the 3 sets that I want my students to think of. So when it says, tell me about yourself, I'll say, I'm a very good problem solver. And I can also be a good solution provider, work in a team, I'm a good team player. That's very important. I'm not all by myself working, sitting in a cubicle and answering phone calls. I've got to sit in meetings, manage a large project, manage time, doing it under budget, doing it under time constraints to get the job done. I got a skill. That's kind of what is needed.
Do you have any questions about Boston for?
Which project did you do?
I was with the House of 7 Bakery.
Okay.
House of 7 Bakery with Tamika.
Oh, nice. Was it a fun experience?
Yeah, it was a fun experience meeting my partner Peter. We just worked on essentially she was completely changing her mode of selling. She was moving from kiosk to a mobile operation where she would sell coffee, pastries,
Yes.
all of the sorts out the van. And what we sort of helped her with was just figuring out the route.
Okay, sure.
Figuring out the route for the best
That's a
customer.
very interesting story.
And then just sort of helping her with her supply chain to how she can obtain supplies and make a profit, because that's what she was ultimately, when a business first starts out, oftentimes they don't make profit at first.
And what you just described in 1 minute, you said profit, operations, supply chain, you said.
Mm-hmm.
You brought a whole business, so now are you a marketing guy, are you a finance guy, are you an accounting guy? Who are you? You're all of the above.
Thank you.
That's what it is. See, the real world experience is not siloed.
Yeah, it's tied down.
They're all connected.
Mm-hmm.
But on day 1 you can do it, but once you have go through the curriculum and education, and then I give you the structured experience. Okay, now, the beginning it could be overwhelming. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do here. But that's why you have partner, your faculty mentor, try to figure out, okay, this is what it is. And I always say this, in life, everything is all about psychologically, expectations. And so, the best Boston, a great example to show that the client is expecting, you're talking about a 4-legged animal.
Mm-hmm.
The client is expecting after 10 weeks an elephant. You are thinking you're designing a goat. So after 10 weeks, and you bring the goat to the meeting, client says, where is the elephant we talked about? No, I got only a goat. Expectation mismatch. So you have to manage that expectation all the time. That's why in the beginning you say, these are our deliverables, these are things, scope, we are going to do this. This is okay. So you both are, client says, yeah, I know you're time constrained and you got, so why not you do 1 through 4? You know, leave the 5 through the others at a later time. So you have common understanding, then you deliver, then you do 5. And it's like you over deliver. Then you're a winner. But if you don't have that understanding, where is my elephant? Is my question. You'll say, we talked about the 4-legged animal. That's what you said on day 1. Yeah, but I was thinking of an elephant. No, it doesn't work. Howard, despite all the hard work you put in, you kind of left me without it. I said, gee, that's only that. See how the human psychology is. But you worked like crazy for this project. And you would say, instead of saying thank you, I'm getting this from you. That's all you got? It's not fair. Welcome to the real world. So the human psychology is very, so part of my style of teaching is I will understand, I'll be a good listener, I'll say, listen, this is what you said, but in the time constraint I can do this. Is it okay with you? And then you say, oh, can you explain why? So we have an understanding. Without that conversation, you could be making an elephant too. I'm not ruling it out, but the likelihood that happen is very low.
You need to be connected, as you said.
Good, okay, good. Any questions from you?
Yeah.
No, I was just listening. It's very interesting.
So, you gotta have passion, and my passion is for seeing student success, one student at a time. In my life, I have students who have come to me and said, thank you for teaching me things. That day I feel like I won a Powerball. Because that's what student success is all about. It's all about, if you don't, I could be in a different industry doing something different. That's okay. I have a lot of friends who do that. My schoolmates from 30, 40 years ago, they would do it. Everybody finds the purpose in life, what makes you happy. Just do it. Just do it. Whose tagline is this? See, that's another one that says, it tells something about the company. Think, whose tagline is it? It used to be IBM used to do that. You don't know who IBM is. They're the mainframe computers. There are a lot of taglines, another way of companies identifying the brand with that.
Exactly. Taglines directly connected to the brand exposure.
Brand, again, you are your own brand. I always tell my students, look at yourself as the president and CEO of your own business. That's who you are. So I would say, don't look at that, I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for an engagement where I can offer my services, my personal integrity, value, hard work, and I can contribute to your industry. And okay, let's do an agreement. That's great. Can you do this for me? Can you help boost my revenue by 20%? Okay, it all depends on what your problem is. Maybe you should sit and talk. Then, you know, I can help boost your customer base, or I can get you more attention. If there's a digital marketing campaign, I can get you more, 20% more viewers for this. How about that? How you translate that into sales, that's a different question. So it depends on how you phrase it. I'm running a bakery and nobody's buying my pastries. What's going on here? Can you help? It depends. What price are you selling? How about the quality? The pastry tastes good. What about competition? Who else is? Oh, there's another pastry right down the street. See, that's a problem you got. Everybody's going there. They're not coming. So there are a lot of things that come. What about your location? You're in a bad spot. You've got no parking outside, heavy traffic going on. How do you expect people to come? So maybe you should be more friendly, you should have something. So these are all things that people want to hear, but you're the problem solver. And then you provide a solution provider. Then you say, you know what? Let's do something else, opportunity seeker. Remember those three phases? You will be successful. I would always ask you next time I say, are you a problem solver?
No,
Are you a
they're
solution
extreme though.
provider?
There's three
Are
phases.
you an opportunity seeker?
Yeah.
You can be all three, you can do any one, but you got to be one of those three. That's where your education, your experience brings you. I can go for another 5 hours, but my time is running out. I gotta go to another meeting. I hope I'm telling you kind of my life story.
Thank you, yeah.
And I want to connect with you more and learn from you and learn from your experience. And most importantly, I want to hear from you how we can do a better job. Because that feedback for me is very important. We can always do a better job in anything we do. I never say I'm doing the best. That's arrogance. Arrogance in capital letters. Whatever you do, you work out. You give me a feedback. I'll say, oh, I never thought of that. Okay, yeah, that is a bad experience. I'm sorry, but we'll make sure it doesn't happen again. That's what humility is. That happens. Restaurant, they take long time to serve your food. Too many customers, or chef is sick. Somebody else is filling in. What is the first thing you tell customers? Sorry, it took extra time. That's a good sign. That's a
Continuous improvement.
Thank you. It is, again, I'm incredibly proud of the three of you who come well prepared with the questions, sitting on the phone and listening to me. And it's a great, I'm very, very proud of what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of our UMB A.I Marketing Club's Thought Leadership Series. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
For behind the scenes content, events, and more, make sure to follow us on our socials linked down below. All of our handles are at UMB A.I Marketing Club.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode where we continue to dive into the world of AI and marketing.